Debate is set to begin in the Senate on the president's nearly $2 trillion COVID relief package. And a last-minute deal could now mean that fewer Americans will be receiving the next round of stimulus checks.
Stimulus checks for 2023. Wait a minute. Do we really have to wear these things again? Stimulus checks for 2023. Will the IRS actually send out more stimulus checks? All of that information is right here in this video, and yes, a bill was passed. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're new, my name is John Muro with True Life Investing. We would love your support and to join our family. We do a ton of giveaways right here on this channel, and we tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. We tell you about things that are happening right here in our own backyard. So in my last video, I talked about how they were saying that if you had the COVID vaccination shot, that your auto insurance would be cheaper, but if you didn't have it, then get ready to pay more. And then they're talking about bringing back these things. Who can forget those beautiful blue masks? I mean, man, it just brings back so many itching memories. I remember wearing this and thinking, I don't think that that's doing anything, you know, and then feeling this around my ears, making it itch, and I really don't want to wear these again, but in a few states, they're actually bringing it back where you have to wear those if you're indoors or if you're in a public area. They're trying to make that bring back the mask mandate. So if they have in your area, let us know down in the comments below. I know that those in New York and those in Los Angeles have definitely brought it back. Now, I have a ton of information dealing with the bill that was passed, stimulus checks for this month and next year, and some information that you might want to know about. So let's dive right on the screen. So like you and me, so many people were like, what? Auto insurance? What does that have to do with getting the vaccination shot? Well, right here, people who skip their COVID vaccine are at a higher risk of traffic accidents, according to a new study. Now, I don't know what kind of studying they're doing or what they're going based off, the traffic accidents, whether or not they had their COVID vaccine shot, but this is starting to get a little scary. Here's the reason why. How in the world does my perception of driving have to do with getting a vaccination shot? Let me explain. I have a Class A CDL license. Yes, I'm 32 years old. My dad was a truck driver. Kind of fell into that family thing where I worked where he worked. They trained me how to get my Class A. I got it, had it for about 3 years, and I'm still holding on to it. But there's no way that a vaccine shot would help better or worsen my conditions of driving, being able to see in your blind spots, being able to maneuver, shift gears, and drive. Now, how in the world, if I didn't get the shot, would I become a higher risk? That doesn't make any sense. So if you pass on getting the COVID vaccine, you might be a lot more likely to get into a car crash. Now, you're probably thinking like I am, what in the world are these people talking about? I mean, is there something in this vaccine shot that could truly have that much of an effect on how I drive and how I react in oncoming traffic and green lights and stop signs? I mean, is this vaccine that powerful? Or at least those that are finding a new study published this month, the American Journal of Medicine. During the summer of 2021, research examined the encrypted government-held records of more than 11 million adults, 16% of whom hadn't received the COVID vaccine shot. They found that the unvaccinated people were 72% likely more to be involved in a severe traffic crash in which at least one person was transported to the hospital than those who were vaccinated. That's similar to the increased risk of car crashes for people with sleep apnea, through only about half of that of people who abuse alcohol. This is what researchers found. The excess risk of car crash posed by unvaccinated drivers exceeds the safety gains from the modern automobile engineering advances and also imposes risk on other road users. So we had to really get down to the bottom of this, of where they were going with this vaccination shot. I mean, doesn't it make you kind of wonder, why is this such a big deal? Why is it that those who are not vaccinated, why would they cause a car crash? And here's what I found out. Of course, skipping a COVID vaccine does not mean that someone will get into a car crash. Instead, the authors believe that people who resist public health recommendations might also neglect basic road safety guidelines. Why would they ignore the rules of the road? Distrust of the government, a belief in freedom, misconceptions of daily risk, faith in natural protection, antipathy toward regulation, poverty, misinformation, a lack of resources, and personal beliefs are potential reasons proposed by the authors. So now that makes more sense. Okay, because I'm telling you, I was getting freaked out for a second. What they're truly saying, and this is the breakdown, is that if you were willing to, I guess, give in to what they're saying, believe and trust the government, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, right? Let me know down in the comments below. I mean, it's just throwing me off saying this. And if they believe that if you agree with what they're doing and you trust them, then you're more likely to obey, I guess, the rules, the stop signs, the speed limits. But if you are resisting, and that's exactly what it said, resisting what the government is trying to push. And I'm just going to show you, okay, right here, that people who resist public, right here on the screen, resist public health recommendations might also neglect basic road safety guidelines. Now, let me tell you something. Nothing about this vaccine is going to make me go out there and drive faster than the speed limit, run through red lights, and don't stop at stop signs. So I don't get what they're really trying to bring out with this. And again, I'm just really kind of shocked at the fact that there would be articles from big article people like Fortune, who is a really big, well-known article company, that they would even say something like this. Now, the reason I'm still on this dead horse that I'm beating to death is this. I often thought that when it comes to them really pushing the trust of the government and us relying on the government and us really believing that they're in our best interest, that doesn't always seem to be the case. And so I'm very precautious on things that I listen to and things that I believe, because again, when they put words like resist, listen, that you can't force people. This ain't no dictatorship. This is democracy. People have the free will to choose what they want to do and when they want to do it. And so, like many of you guys and me, you know, if we don't want the vaccine shot, then why would we be punished? And I truly believe that that's the way that it's going. I'm starting to see very hints and glimpses of signs showing that there will be special privileges for those who obey what the government's trying to do, opposed to those who are saying, you know what, I just don't feel comfortable with it, I'm going to pass. Well, we're going to get penalized. So that's something that if you see this on the news, you can come back to this video right here and say, hey, John told us so. And now it's happening. So again, not to really alarm you, but just to kind of bring things that are happening right here in this country. I'm not talking about other countries. I'm talking right here in our own backyard. So what about the bill that was passed? Well, the Senate passes a $847 billion defense bill forcing Biden's hand on vaccine mandate. The compromise, the National Defense Authorization Act, now heads to the White House for Biden's signature. The Senate on Thursday handed President Joe Biden a sprawling defense policy bill that supersizes his Pentagon budget and undoes a mandate for troops to receive the COVID vaccine. See, even they understand that you can't mandate a certain particular group to do something that if they don't want to do it, they shouldn't be forced to. It really brings me back to the statement where so many people said, hey, if I don't get my COVID shot, I'm going to lose my job. Now, to me, I'm just saying this, to me, look at where our country's going. And now they're making rules that if you don't do what they say against your own free will, then does that truly sound like the land of the free? Does that truly sound like freedom? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, let's talk about some stimulus checks. Stimulus checks 2023. Is the IRS planning to send more checks next year? The year 2023 could be harder on your finances. There's no doubt that 2022 was a difficult year for residents across the United States. I agree. 2 years of enforced lockdowns due to the pandemic, followed by the sanctions imposed on Russian oil imports, meant a cost of living crisis. While the Federal Reserve has gradually increased interest rates to stem the rapidly growing inflation rate, residents were also still relying on a host of state-executed welfare measures that either through the form of a stimulus check or tax rebates. However, with 2023 fast approaching, the Department of Internal Revenues has stated that they will not be issuing any further stimulus checks from their end, meaning that American citizens across the country should be braced for a tough financial year ahead. What did the IRS say about 2023 stimulus checks? With people starting to wonder what support might be coming their way for 2023, the IRS sent out a bulletin on November 22nd addressing the impact of the absence of stimulus checks on the current tax year. Refunds may be smaller in 2023, the memo stated. Taxpayers will not receive an additional stimulus payment with a 2023 tax refund because there was no economic impact payments for 2022. Hey, look, it's Jimmy. If you don't know who Jimmy is, he talks about a lot of the same things that we do, stimulus checks, Social Security, and things that are happening right here in our country. Good guy, good video, go check him out. What does the IRS statement mean for you? Well, the memo from the IRS clearly indicates that residents should not depend on a tax rebate to help them procure basic necessities such as groceries. With COVID-19 firmly behind us, the absence of stimulus checks will be a problem going forward, while families will also no longer have the expanded benefits of welfare schemes such as parent-child tax credit that was available in 2021. This time last year, those who hadn't claimed such benefits already were able to do so when filing their tax returns, but it won't be the same this year around. So what does that mean for those on a fixed income? What does that mean for Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA, survivors, those on a low income, those at the poverty line? What does it mean literally for people right here in our own country trying to figure out how they're going to keep up with their monthly budget, keep up with inflation that's going up, and keep up with paying their bills so that way they have a roof over their head, maybe have a vehicle to drive to work, and can take care of them or their family. Yet again, I know that the struggle has been real and that stimulus checks would definitely be beneficial. I agree. So many people have said, hey, listen, we don't need to send stimulus checks out. I understand that. But yet again, people are missing the fact that stimulus checks only really dog us about 3% of literally what is going on in our economy. So how would 3% affect 97%? You let me know down in the comments below. But I wanted to bring you this information because yes, the IRS could send out stimulus checks. The federal government could send out stimulus checks, but will they? Well, my friend, that's a good question to ask. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying this long in the video. You are truly amazing. And for doing that, you get to jump in on a free Christmas giveaway that we're doing, yes, this month. On the 22nd, we're giving 10 lucky subscribers a choice of their gift from $20 and under. I'm taking screenshots of everybody who's actually commenting, subscribing, and letting me know what they want down in the comments below, what they want for Christmas. And so I really want to give back. So if you want a chance to win, definitely do that. If you want another chance to win, and maybe you didn't win on the other one, then you get to try out for a chance to win a free gift of $20 and under by selecting which movie this quote came from.
What are you talking about? You gotta get back on duty. You're not a cop.
Yeah, you're right. I got this down the costume shop. But it can't hurt to pretend.
What a wise and
If you know me, if you've been watching this channel, then you know that he is one of my favorite actors. Adam Sandler is coming to Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. I thought about seeing him, but then again, it may not be too clean. But yet again, one of my favorite actors. I hope the best for him. Great movies. I actually really want to watch Blended. So that's going to be a movie that I might or might not show you here in this video as a clip. But if you're a video fan like me, then you'll pick it up real fast. So guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. And wait, I can't leave without showing you this clip.
Didn't we talk about that?
Did I burn down the joint? I don't think so.
I was making ornaments out of fish hooks.
I hope that that made you smile. If it did, then I did something in my day just to make yours a little bit better, because you make my days better every single day. And I thank you for that. Thank you for your love and support and for leaving a comment. It really does mean the world to me when you leave a comment. Just makes me feel like we're building a big family here. And if you want to become part of that family, don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned, because more videos are on the way. And until next time, I'm John Muro. Peace!